can I just say that making these important videos is tiring work. Okay, so today's topic is going to be that. As requested by Steph May, we are going to be looking at Heterometrus longimanus. You said anus. What are you on about? Anus? Yeah, you said today we're going to be looking at longimanus. I said like we're going to be looking at Heterometrus longimanus, dude. Like, what are you on about? Anus. Yeah, but like spell longimanus, dude. Like longim anus. Anus. Right, we're going to be looking at forest scorpions. Coming up, Heterometrus longimanus. Thanks, Luna. Okay, so here we are on to the H. longimanus. This is my male's enclosure, this is my female's enclosure. As I said, she's in a 30-30 Komodo. He's in a slightly larger one. I can't remember the exact dimensions, but side by side you can see his is slightly longer, maybe a 30, maybe a 40, 45, as in 30 the same, but this is 30. This I would say is maybe closer to 45. Anyway, by the way, so here we can actually see she is up and about. Now this species comes from the sort of tropical rainforest, Southeast Asia, mainly fossorial, but I myself have witnessed, as have many other keepers, suggestions of semi-arboreal behaviour. They do seem to like to climb. I've actually got some footage of the male clambering on here, and some other footage that would also support this this behaviour. Keeping wise, deep substrate, or as deep as you can go within the enclosure. You've got this deepens towards the back, so she has tunnelled out most of this. Okay, so we've got relatively damp substrate, not wet, but sprayed, misted, and kept slightly damp. Moss I find is a great way of A, adding a bit of colour, B, giving it a bit of a natural feel, and it holds moisture in it as well, which helps raise humidity. Now, these guys and girls can reach a size of around the 5-inch mark. They have been referred to, or I've read of them as referred to as the black emperor scorpion. Not an emperor scorpion, but a black emperor scorpion. Most commonly referred to as Asian forest scorpions, but I have heard them referred to under various names, which is where things can start to get a bit confusing, especially with the forest scorpion species. When you go into a lot of pet trade or pet shops, they may refer to them as Asian forest scorpions, which there's quite a lot of. Temperament, as far as these scorpions go, they can be fairly defensive, I think is probably the best terminology. They're not going to charge at you and immediately start to sting, but they're probably not a scorpion you particularly want to try and tease out with your fingers. Personally, never actually held either of the pair of them. As I say, when I got her, I'll see if I can reposition her slightly. When I got her I was told she could be gravid, and as we can see, she is nice and plump, so hopefully, you never know, fingers crossed. What I'm going to do is actually get one of them out into another container so we can get a closer look at these scorpions. Okay, so you see what I've done is I've actually placed them both into these small bug tubs just now. Temperature wise, because people will ask, it's probably around sort of the 22 to 28 degrees Celsius, about 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. As I say, not one you particularly go. So this is the female, as you'll see, quite wound up, having been placed into this small tub. She's either going to molt or she is gravid, I would say, looking at the state of her. It's difficult to pick out on the camera the actual colour of these guys. They have a kind of really beautiful bluey green tinge to them. Not quite as green as, I would say, the louse, the Laticus, but it's certainly got this beautiful tinge. And the claws certainly have this really beautiful kind of purple, almost... Oh, there she goes. She's not happy with that. Right, so we've wound her up enough. Let's go over to him because she's disappeared down into her hide. So let's see how he's getting on. So here we go. This is a guy we call Batman. If you can kind of see there that slight purple tinge in his claws and running down the back of his body there, I think it's an absolute beautiful, really kind of reddy, deep purpley kind of colour. So yeah, I think I've pretty much summed. I don't want to go on for too long because I don't want to make this video too long. So as I say, they come from Asia, in rainforests. Have been witnessed to climb quite a lot, around 20 to 28 degrees Celsius temperature wise, so your average room temperature seems to these guys just fine. Obviously it depends on your property. My house is quite warm. Anyway, temperament, not a nervous disposition, I think would be a fair assumption of these scorpions. I've never been stung by any of my scorpions, I would like to say, so that's always a good thing. Food wise, these ones feed on locusts, quite large locusts. Sexton scorpions, now this should be the fun part. Let's see if I can do this. Right, so sexton your scorpions, I don't know how great I can see this, but underneath you'll see the two pectines there. Males have quite long comb-like structures off the pectines. And what I have just noticed, just when I was getting ready to do this, is my female is actually missing one of her pectines. Which, I suppose, seems to phase her too much. Right, so recap. Fairly temperamental, don't really want to go trying to tickle her belly or nothing. Good size housing. Do have a tendency to climb. I'm going to post a wee video on the end of this. I go for a natural look, so bark for them to hide under, not soaking wet, not too damp, but sort of lightly sprayed, misted. I kind of spray these guys probably about once a day, to be honest. That's not a set pattern. Sometimes I'll forget and it'll maybe be every second day or whatever. So as I say, I use moss, a couple of twigs, just to try and create a sort of natural foresty feel, I suppose. And I think that's pretty much covered everything. I've covered feeding, I've covered temperament, I've covered housing, and I think that's about everything I need to cover. Okay, so I hope that answers any questions you may have had, especially Steph May, about the keeping of the Heterometrus longimanus. Not a word. I think I've covered pretty much everything, heat and housing, temperament. I'm not going to lie, for a brief moment I thought about possibly taking a shot of him on my hand just for some kind of comparison, and I thought, you know what, it's not worth it, and he was already pretty peed off from me digging him out, or well, pulling him out of his house to put him into that small container. I thought he's in a bad mood. I've worked with scorpions before. I know the telltale signs when it's probably safe and not too safe to consider handling. and the temperament of the two of them would certainly suggest it wasn't the time. And again, they're pretty tetchy species of scorpions anyway. When I used to work with them, it was louse. I actually used the Laticus. I had a couple of really good ones for handling, but again, it was through time and building up and understanding and recognition of behaviours. So overall, I wouldn't recommend handling most scorpions. Other than that, I think I've covered everything. As I say, I'm going to tag on a couple of pretty awesome bits of video I've shot of them over the last couple of nights that I was going to add in and do a voiceover, but I'll tag it on the end of this anyway. Any questions, please do ask. If you don't want to watch the additional footage, obviously this is the end, and it's take care of yourselves and goodbye for now. If you want to see the additional footage, stay tuned, it's coming up. But in the meantime, thank you ever so much for watching. Do like and subscribe to the channel, and like the video. With the wee bell icon-y thing, please do feel free to tick that. I think it notifies you if I have posted any more of my rubbish for you to watch. And other than that, take care of yourselves. Additional footage coming up, and thank you ever so much for watching. And comment suggestions, please do pop them in the box or on the discussions part of the page. But anyway, it's a bye for now. Take care, see you later. And just quickly, before we move on to the additional footage that I shot, I just wanted to say that about once a month between the two of them, I will dump one of these full, so that's about half per tank. I literally just pour that through the roof, creating a kind of rain effect. So I do that about once a month. I've used coco coir for my substrate. You can use other ones that are probably, or a mixture which would create an actual texture for them to burrow into. But because I've created hides within the enclosures, I'm not too worried about creating an actual burrow because they have got hides to use and they can push the dirt out of that themselves. But if you weren't creating artificial hides, so to speak, and you wanted them to create their own burrow, you would probably want to use a different substrate or a mix of coir and something else. But anyway, I just wanted to say about once a month, half of one of these gets tipped in to keep it nice and damp, and then that's topped up with a mist then every day or every other day. And yeah, there's different types of substrate you can use. But anyway, coming up to additional footage, I just wanted to add that in. So thank you so much, take care, and bye bye, unless you're staying tuned for the additional footage, in which case bye bye anyway. Enjoy. So as I was saying in the video about the climbing tendencies of these scorpions, so this is Batman climbing up on one of the branches and me attempting to feed him. But you can see the coloration in the claws down through the body there. There's such beautiful colours in these scorpions. The video camera just doesn't do it justice, but when the light hits them, the kind of really deep purple smoke on the water, the colours that come out of them are just absolutely stunning. And yeah, the branch did actually fall over just during filming. Sorry, Batman. So this footage was filmed a few nights ago, and again this supports the climbing tendencies of these scorpions. Lo and behold, there he is, and this is why this particular male is called Batman, because normally when he's out and about he will be found climbing, clambering, and he seems to love hanging off his roof. We're now on to the female. This was filmed the night before the main video was done. This is her taking a locus. I just think there's some nice footage coming up which shows the strength of these scorpions. In a second now you'll just see, and there the crush of that head, you can see it's grabbed it, giving it a darn good crushing, and I think that's game over for that locus. And if we just continue to watch, I appreciate it's kind of dragging on here, but if we continue to watch, it does get a wee bit more interesting. Locus is still kicking out, fighting for its life, but its head's been crushed, so I think it's safe to say it's not going to have much joy. And as you can see, I'm zooming in there to show that she is quite plump. But here we go. This is what we want to see. Beautiful. I was really, really chuffed I got this footage, which is why I've kept hold of it and added it onto the end here. If you've stayed tuned this far, but you'll see she's looking plump. I'm convinced she's gravid. I have been told these can take up to 2 years. Before they'll give birth. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's what I've been told, is that they can take up to 2 years. So it's just a waiting game, but now Locus is away to its death. So thank you ever so much. Do like and subscribe if you watched this far. Thank you for your patience. I think that was a beautiful bit of footage there. Take care of yourselves, and bye bye for now. Take care. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Anus. You said it again.